Welcome. It's good to have you here. As you can see on your screen, you've reached the pre-enrollment webinar for the upcoming Imperial College Business School Executive Education Program in Sustainability Leadership, Leadership with a Purpose. Today is an informational session where you're going to learn all about this program. In particular, we're going to cover two key themes here on the session today. We're going to be learning all about this program curriculum, what is contained within the curriculum, what can you expect to learn, what are those overarching learning objectives here for the program. And the second key theme that we're going to be covering is how will you learn? So how is the learning delivered to ensure that you have the very best experience possible? So we're going to be touching on both the curriculum as well as how that curriculum is developed and delivered over the course of this next hour. I'm going to introduce your keynote speaker. But firstly, we thank you for being here with us and to welcoming you to Imperial College London. You can see on your screen, this is a picture of our campus. And certainly, as described, we want to build a community here online, sort of a campus community in this online context. So thank you and welcome to Imperial College London. Here today, I'm going to hand over the spotlight in short order here in just a moment to today's keynote subject matter expert and a member of your program faculty who is here to tell us all about the program. Before we do that, though, we're going to learn more about Imperial, what you can expect from your educational journey here at Imperial. From there, I'll hand it over to your program faculty, where you'll get to know your faculty a little bit further. There are three faculty whose expert voices are illuminated throughout the program here today. So you get to learn more about their expertise, their research areas, their interest, industry background, and how that's folded into the program. You'll also learn about that curriculum detail. We're going to take you through module by module so you have a better understanding of what you're going to be learning from week to week. From there, we'll talk about how you will learn. So stay tuned towards the end if you're here to learn more about some of those logistical components. Perhaps you're here to learn more about the delivery of the program. We're going to be talking about that. Towards further ado, I want to introduce today's keynote subject matter expert and the other star of the show here, your program faculty, Frank Broek. You can see Professor Broek is a visiting researcher and co-founder and executive vice president of Golden for Impact Foundation in Amsterdam, as well as the director of the IKIGAI Corp. At Imperial College Business School. So certainly very pleased to welcome you here today, Professor Broek. Would you like to jump in and greet the audience?
Sure. Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here and to have a chance to talk about our program. Particularly, I want to say hi to Damon. You mentioned already, because I realize he's in South Africa as well, and I'm joining you from Cape Town in South Africa here for today's session.
Thank you for being here, Professor Broek. I'm going to hand over the spotlight here in just a moment. You're going to be hearing a lot more from Professor Broek. But before we do that, we want to help set the stage for you and give you an idea of this broader community that you're joining here at Imperial College London. What can you expect from your education here at Imperial? You can see the future of business today. That is the tagline here at Imperial. So as a global leader in science, technology, and other areas of business, Imperial is driving social transformation through the fusion of these various cross-disciplinary approaches to business education. So through business, technology, and an entrepreneurial mindset, really hoping to drive social transformation and have a transformative impact on the world, and certainly on your life and on your profession. So all of that here, you can see on your slide a lot of statistical information there on the right about the rankings of Imperial. But for those of you who are here, no doubt you already know this is a rigorous program, a school with a high reputation, a global reputation for advancing research in business leadership across the globe. So here at Imperial, we combine the innovative thinking and insight with new technology to develop solutions to real world issues. And you're going to see that in the program as you make your way through the curriculum. All of the assignments, the activities, they're aimed at helping you to bring to life theoretical concepts into a place of action. So really learning more about concepts, but then applying them throughout the program so that this idea of bringing these solutions to the real world is coming to fruition throughout your time here in the program. You can see the thought leaders. I'm here in just a moment. There are three program faculty who have designed the curriculum here, and certainly the second point here on your screen, the thought leadership, the world-renowned thought leadership is sought out by governments, policymakers, and global business leaders. You're going to see that you learn directly from your program faculty. And as you sort of gain a deeper understanding about the world-renowned expert leadership that has been folded into the development of this program. So here we're creating and delivering remarkable learning experiences that are going to have a lasting and positive impact. They're going to help foster innovative spirit and entrepreneurial mindset and give you groundbreaking ideas that unlock business opportunities. So a lot in store here for you to think about this program. And as you think about how this program is going to have a transformational impact on your career and on your organization. But with that, I'd like to go ahead and invite into the spotlight today's keynote subject matter expert, Frank Broek. You've heard from Frank already. Here's a little bit more about his background. You can see he has 25 years of experience working in industry as a consultant, a trainer, a lecturer, a researcher in the fields of sustainability, cultural change, cross-cultural management, team building, and leadership development. So his research focuses on the various methodologies of CSR, cultural comparison, value-based management, sustainability, and intercultural management and training. So certainly a lot here in store for you. Thank you so much, Professor Broek, for being here with us. I'm going to hand over the spotlight to you to take us through our program faculty as well as our program overview. Thanks again for being here. Over to you.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here and to talk about this program. And we spent quite a bit of time putting this program together and try to figure out, well, what do people need? And in the things that you see here from my personal experience, that's only I'm only a representative. Let's put it that way. I'm for the vast community that was actually engaged here in the development of this course, and you will I will point it out maybe later on in when we get to it, but you will see three faces standing for some of the people talking in the program, but actually there are more than 30 experts from academia and business that we got together for this program. So it's quite an amazing lineup. You will see my face during the course, but I'll mainly take the role of guiding you. As a matter of fact, it is something where we tried from each topic to find the thought leaders really in the areas that we considered most relevant for sustainability and for leadership in sustainability and for a different way to think about sustainability. I think I cannot stress enough that we don't want to have a classical academic course where somebody talks at you and maybe puts lots of models and so forth on the table. We have these models, we have the experts, but they're gonna talk about what they're doing with it and how they run through with it. So I'm happy to be here. As I mentioned, I'm in South Africa, an honorary professor at the Stellenbosch University at the moment. The person who was very central for this program is Maurizio Zollo. He's the president of the Golden for Impact Foundation, for instance. So he's on the next slide, and you can see his portfolio here a little bit. So Professor Zollo is certainly considered one of the big shots in sustainability strategy. And this is already setting the tone a little bit for this course, because working with Professor Zollo meant also that we look at sustainability from a strategic point of view, and this is very central for all leadership ideas we found. So he's together with Maurizio, we're working for more than 10 years on sustainability, and tried more than 20 years actually, if I really think about it. And we tried many different ways, and the ways how we try to change the way business deals with our environment, with our social and the natural environment, and the economic environment, of course, is that we thinking of changing the enterprise model. So we're not talking about business models only, so where you maybe start a different project program with a new product, but we want to embed the thinking of strategy, sustainable strategy, into the core of what the organization does. And Maurizio Zollo is at the forefront of this movement, and he's a very, very well-known capacity in academia. We have Livio Scalvini also with us as one of the kind of coordinators and masterminds behind the program, in the sense that he comes from a business, banking, finance background actually, and he's one of these people who realized that he wants to change what's going on. And on the next slide, you can see his credentials and what he actually brings into this program. And so he worked with many startups. I saw the number here, 1,200. So you can imagine he went through a lot, and he realized where the core areas are of where it's critical that sustainability needs to be introduced, and where you can actually make a change in the way that business addresses sustainability, addresses the problems of the world, really. And it's where business is not considered to be the problem, or not only the problem. Of course, business contributes quite a bit to the problem, but where we want to think about it also, how can business become part of the solution? And that's the context of this course, really. So we don't only want to look at models and so forth that's hang in the air, but we want to understand how business can support the changes that are needed. And now you saw three faces, but I'll tell you, I told you already, we have more than 30 people actually teaching with us, giving us either interviews or little models. And these are people like Lisa Kingo, the head of the UN Global Compact, or Peter Bakker, who many of you may know. So we have the specialists in the field, and we looked also at companies, where companies also try to change. Like we're talking in the program, you will have an input from Ed Daniels from Shell, a company that's of course trying very hard to change around their ways, and we have specialists from projects and companies who already run initiatives and models which can be maybe part of the future. So the future means also we have even contributors from consultancies, we have contributors from NGOs like the Forum for the Future. So it's a big group effort here, and that's one thing that makes this course definitely unique. And if we maybe go to the next slide, I can tell you a bit more of. So I told you who we are, right? Who is on the other end, kind of on the teaching, on the presentation end. But here is what we thought about who should be taking this learning journey. We consider it a journey, really, that we dealt out this year. So we have 12 to 13 modules, and it is we try to construct a way that opens the chance for people from many different backgrounds to join this class and to get something out of it. Also a very good idea. What we had in mind was people who have working experience, right? So this was our first idea, because we want those who participate in this program not only to think abstractly about what's going on in the corporate world, but we want people to think of what's actually happening in my organization. How does the company I'm working for, or the company I developed and started up or whatever it is, how does this organization actually link to sustainability issues of the world? What is done and where is it done? So that was our main thinking. So we thought we want people who have some background in the company work, ideally working at the moment, but if this is not the case, at least having a rich experience where you can maybe remember how in your previous engagements certain things were dealt with. So the reason why this is relevant for us is because we think we developed something which we call the Capstone Project. This is a kind of a project that runs from the first module to the last, very last day. This where you are supposed to kind of look around with open eyes in your environment, in your own corporate environment, in the business environment you are living in, working in, to answer certain questions and to bring out certain aspects of that. This is what we found is most relevant. And then it doesn't matter if you're a senior executive, a CSR specialist, or somebody who is specialized in certain technical aspects of whatever fields, or if you're a consultant, it even there it doesn't matter. The main point is we want to change your perspective. We want to change the focus of what is being done, what can be done. And that's why we didn't want to have a course where only 3 people tell you something about sustainability. That's why we brought in these 30 people, because we wanted to have many, many different perspectives. So those who will attend this program will get a very, very broad spectrum of ideas. And this spectrum of ideas is presented by the specialists in the field. So one thing about Imperial College that was maybe only briefly mentioned before is that Imperial College offers the perfect basis for that, since it's a university well known for its technical expertise, for its health expertise, and so forth, together with the business expertise. And this is exactly what we also try to put in this program. So we invited the specialists from certain research centers working with climate change, working with health issues, and so forth, to give us their view and their ideas. So no special industries, nothing is excluded. And if you have an open mind for business and business strategy, that will help. Anything that you bring into this course in terms of experience, of real life experience, and kind of the opportunity to look around in an organization and to see what is my company doing at the moment for sustainability, then you are the right person. And I think that's a very broad spectrum. And since we have a very broad spectrum of people who joined the program from the lecturing side, we are sure you will find your ways around this program very well. So let us look at how we set it up, how we put the program together. 13 modules you will see here, a lucky number. And we started in our thinking by addressing the core issues, right? So we thought, let's start by looking at the core problems from a specialist point of view, right? So we have people here from specialized research centers who are dealing with climate change, and who are made it the part of their day-to-day working life to help the world out of this predicament we are in at the moment. So you will hear from real specialists. It's not going to be super technical in a way. We're not going to talk about the chemistry behind it and so forth, but we're going to hear from these specialists in a way that what is the basis for it all? Where are the pitfalls? You know, where do things go wrong? Where do things go right? How can companies can become part of the solution? How can that work? I should tell you in the background, you may have seen on the slides Maurizio Zollo and Livio Scalvini are running the Leonardo Center for Business and Society at the Imperial College. And what we do there in the background is collect lots and lots of data on what companies are actually doing at the moment. There's a unique database we developed on sustainability initiatives of corporations. There are hundreds of thousands of initiatives that we collected with AI processes, and we try to understand what's actually happening. Where do they put the focus and why? And why is it different in different industries? And here you will get a bit of a taste of it when these people talk about climate change, and when we talk about the sustainable development goals and why companies focus on some and do not focus on some others. Social aspects are most important also. We don't, of course, climate change is something we want to address in the first module, but we'll open the social discussion on social impacts also in the second module, because health and everything in connection with possibilities to find solutions with companies to get to a point where inequalities can be dealt with in a serious matter, and where how innovation can bring inclusive growth and so forth. That's what we're going to look at in the second module. And that's where basically this is where we set the stage. And from there, we're going to roll on through the business functions of the organization. We're going to look at all the different areas which are critical for sustainable strategies and sustainable leaderships. So people who join this program and to run through this program with us will get the broadest possible spectrum of what is needed in which area. And that's very relevant, because what we realize is that very often the CSR specialists are, well, sometimes even marginalized, but at least not so core in the organization, not so positioned at the place that they can really make a difference. So every person in each department needs to make this difference. That's why we want to look at all of these departments. That's why we're going to look very deeply into what's happening there. And I should mention one thing is that when we put this program together, that meant we asked people to give certain short lectures, right? And to deal with some inputs. But we also thought of how can it be done? How can we get to the how can we get this learning journey deeply embedded for people and to make a change in the mindsets? And from previous programs, we know that alternative methods on this level can make all the difference. So for instance, we will offer in this program also a meditation side track, which is not going to talk about things in connection with the content of the sessions, but more with relaxation and changes that help to open your mind in a different perspective. So this is another way that you can also, if you join this program, if you want to, you're not obliged to get into it. But we did our research on that, and we were surprised ourselves when we realized that the mindsets of people changed within 6 weeks towards including ethical business practices and including the environment as a relevant factor in decision making. That's why we offer this. So we start the content on the assessment, on the business function with assessments and operations. You know, how does an organization how can the assessments be done? How can the operations be adapted? This has a lot to do with life cycle assessment. Also, cradle to grave ideas are there. The complexities of bringing new solutions in. For instance, bringing the new solution that's away from product selling towards selling services. You know, somebody who buys a drilling machine to drill a hole in a wall doesn't want a drilling machine mostly. This person wants to hang up a picture on the wall. So how can we deal with and organize things differently? That's part of module 3. In module 4, we will move on there and look at sustainable business model innovation, and we have great guys there for you who are real specialists in helping organizations, and that's what they do, helping organizations to develop sustainable business models. So the business model basically determines in how you make your money, right? How you run your organization. And here in this session, it will be most important to see how do others do that already by including the triple bottom line ideas, which means there includes the sustainable thinking on a social and an environmental and an economic way. So this is going to be very important. We have great speakers here like Peter Childs and Richard Templer, who run startups constantly and who bring in ideas that how new business models can help the world and can actually solve problems, and not only, you know, as business sometimes does, be part of creating problems. We have the role of technology and supporting innovation in the next model. We want to create new ideas and move into strategy from there, and move to the great important strategy questions like what's actually happening in terms of implementing sustainability on a global scale. How does it work on a small and on a bigger scale? What has to be considered? You know, where are the limits of growth? So that's what we're going to discuss in module 3. Module from there we'll move into finance in module 7. And that's a big deal also, since finance plays a central role in what companies do. Where are the funds for sustainable activities, and how do companies organize the finances, the financial flow, their investments around sustainability? Very important here is also the integrated reporting. So this is a new way how companies report not only on their business results, but also very importantly on the question of what do they do for sustainability? What do they do on an environmental and on a social level? So that's what we deal with there. You'll see my face a bit more in module 8, where it is about purpose-driven leadership and incentive systems. We're gonna deal with that in a completely new way also. The Ikigai model, for instance, that some may know of you, is a Japanese life philosophy. We're going to use this life philosophy to see what do leaders need in different areas at different times. What what special focus is relevant for leaders to become truly sustainable leaders. And then we go a step further and look at what happens on the cultural side in an organization. You know, what does a company needs to, how can a company address the fact that many people may have a different focus in their organization? How can a sustainable culture be created? And we're going to look into that from quite a few different perspectives, also in the perspective of diversity and so forth, and in terms of identity in an organization. So it has a lot to do with the purpose of why we do things. And then we are running already in the wider stages in Module 10. This is where we, if we talk about culture before, Module 10 then is stakeholder integration in governance. So basically it means all those people we work with internally and externally, how can we make it a flow that we can move together in the right direction? How can stakeholders be integrated in governance, for instance, right? Help us to run our organization instead of keeping them out and telling them what we can't do. So these are the things we do here. And the purpose-driven flourishing enterprise is Module 11. That's already summing it up to some extent there. This is where we say sustainable is fine, but sustainable basically means to sustain a certain level. We want to flourish. We want people to flourish. We want the organization to flourish, and that's what we have here. The flourishing enterprise that's driven by purpose is our goal, and we want to describe this in this session. And very happy to have Rodolphe Durand there from HEC Paris, who will also give his ideas and his models on the way business can introduce purpose in its core activities. And we're going to look at what a flourishing organization really is. But the organization doesn't exist in an empty space. There is something around us, and that's the ecosystem. And leading ecosystems change means leading on a bigger scale, leading the stakeholders and creating a way that we're not isolated as an organization or as a leader, but take on others, share the call to change whole ecosystems, like the way industries, for instance, do certain things, will be the 12th module. And the very last one is the capstone project module 13. As I said, that's something that's not only starting there, but it's actually running through the whole project. And in the end, we want you as a sustainable leader, hopefully at the end of this program already, to bring your ideas to paper, and in this project come up with one or the other initiative that you would suggest your organization should engage in, hopefully triggered by whatever came before in the program. Triggered by the things that you learned in the sessions before. So that's the run through the different modules, and we are not only having people who talk about what they are doing in practical terms. We're also going to use cases, and these cases are going to support really what we have in mind, and where to point you, to get your attention to the areas where we think it matters most. So it has to be practical, it has to be applied, and all these great ideas that you will be confronted with in the program should come to fruition, kind of, when you deal with these cases. They're spread through the program on different areas, and should help you to get a very practical sense of how sustainability can be worked with in organizations. That was a long monologue now. I think it's about time that Marie comes in and tells us a bit more about how this is actually set up and is run through the different 13 modules.
Thank you so much, Professor Brooks. I'm going to take us through this program experience here, where we're going to be learning more about how the program is delivered. But firstly, thank you, Professor Broke, for taking us through those curricular details of the program. The program is built around a pedagogical approach that we call bite-sized learning. And this is sort of a self-coined pedagogical approach that we implement our programs using a system that allows you to go through the curriculum at your own pace and in your own time. So we've blended the synchronous learning components with asynchronous learning components, allowing you the highest level of convenience as well as the highest level of engagement across your peer team. So what does bite-sized learning look like in real time? What is kind of the tactical day-to-day experience? Each week, a new set of content will be released for you and your peers to review asynchronously. This includes on-demand video lectures from your 3 program faculty members here today. You'll get to watch those video lectures as many times as you need to at your own pace and around your own schedule. So in this way, we're breaking down some of those barriers of space and time that we typically see in a traditional classroom environment. When you only have a certain number of seats in the room and a certain number of minutes to get through a certain set of content, we're able to break all of that down in the online space and deliver that content to you in a way that allows you to fully immerse yourself in your learning as you go. So you'll watch brief video segments. Again, these are on demand where you'll learn about these concepts, and then you'll step away from those brief video segments and you'll begin tinkering with these ideas, putting them into practice, discussing them with your peers. So you can see on your screen a variety of different simulations, exercises, assignments, live webinars, interactive activities, case studies, discussion polls. All of this are the activities that are helping you to fully immerse yourself in that learning. So you'll watch the videos, you'll take part in these activities, much of which is asynchronous, again, allowing you to have those high levels of engagement and interaction, but around a schedule that works for you. So you're really going to be able to design a learning schedule around your other responsibilities, your full-time jobs, your family responsibilities, and just generally around life. So you get that high level of convenience and you get that high level of interaction. You'll see there are some live components as well. There are live webinars as well as office hours hosted by your course leaders in this program. So you have that opportunity to turn on your video, turn on your camera, and engage in live learning sessions. Any of the live webinars that we host here in the program are recorded and they're made available for you in the platform. So even if you miss a live learning session, you'll have a simulated live experience in the platform the next day. So you'll get to watch all of the material that was covered. You'll see the chat, the questions. It'll be as though you were there. So again, giving you those opportunities for live interactions to get your questions answered, to engage in a reciprocal learning environment where you're contributing and receiving knowledge in real time, but also giving you that high level of convenience. So you can see there's also a dedicated program support team. I'm going to introduce them to you in just a moment. But if you think about all the different relationships that we've described so far, just in review, you have yourself at the center as the learner, seeking to be innovative, seeking to bring these concepts to life within your world, within your organization and geography. A layer beyond that, you have your peer colleagues. You're learning together with and from your peers. So if you were with us at the beginning, you're learning from a truly diverse set of peers who not only represent geographic diversity, but they're also coming from many different industries. So you're going to see sustainability leadership come to life in your industry, in your geography, in your professional role. But in learning shoulder to shoulder with your peers, you're getting that broadened scope of understanding, that tapestry of ideas, game concepts come to life in other industry areas and other geographies and other job functions. So you get that expansive scope of understanding here throughout the program. A layer beyond your peers, you have your course leaders. Course leaders are perhaps one of the largest assets to your learning here in the program. These are industry experts who've been selected by Imperial to come in and guide your day-to-day learning experience. Course leaders give you feedback on your assignments, customized, individualized feedback. You're not simply submitting assignments for completion, but you're having your course leaders look at those assignments give you that critical feedback. They're on the discussion boards with you and your peers, helping to push your thinking and drive engagement. Course leaders are also hosting office hours. So they're there to get your questions answered. You can come into live office hour sessions, turn on your video, and engage in live discussion with your course leaders and peers. So truly, one of the things that set this course apart from others like it is a chance to have that course leader guide at that day-to-day level, helping to usher you along throughout your entire time in the program. Now, a layer beyond your course leaders, you have your program faculty. You met Professor Broke today, and of course has two co-creators of this program at the helm of your curriculum, also a part of this program and a part of the knowledge and insights that they're sharing throughout your time in the program. And then finally, a layer beyond that, Imperial College London, this larger community, this larger ecosystem that you're joining, which we described earlier on in the session. So as you think about these various, concentric circles of teaching and learning that are taking place throughout your program time, you can see there are many ways in which this program is designed to help you to build those relationships, to network professionally across these various areas, to get to know a diverse set of perspectives throughout your time in the program. So perhaps one of the biggest returns on your investment in this program is a chance to build those relationships, to broaden your professional network, and to gain those insights across these various layers of teaching and learning. So certainly a lot in store here. All of this teaching and learning is housed together by a 24/7 program support team. We have a host in the back end, as well as a team of moderators. We have 1, 2, 3 program support members who are in the background helping to answer questions. Our program support are the course foremost experts when it comes to all of the logistics for the program, all of the course policy details, and the registration and enrollment process. In just a moment, I'll give you some instructions on how you can get connected with an advisor. Certainly a lot of support, a lot of relationship building. And this is a cohort-based model. This is a peer learning model. So you're getting a very high level of engagement. This is not a MOOC, a massive open online course where you're simply digesting knowledge, but this is a specialized blend of synchronous and asynchronous learning, allowing you to have that fully immersive learning experience. So certainly a lot in store here for you. The other big return on your investment is a chance to earn a credential here from Imperial College London. We're showcasing for you on the screen an example of what that credential looks like here. And certainly this is a chance for you to formalize your training in this area of sustainability leadership. So if you're looking to formalize your training, perhaps you want to springboard into some career advancement opportunities, certainly having a credential here from Imperial College Business School will go a long way in helping you to do that. So you can put this certificate on your social media, write about it on your resume, bring it in with you to job interviews, and certainly it's going to help advance you forward as you think about bringing sustainability practices to your organization and to your professional role. This is our last and final slide that you can see here. The application deadline is fast approaching, just around the corner. Imperial Sustainability Leadership, leadership with a purpose. So this is all those details that you need here as you think about next steps. This is also where I tell you how you can get connected with an advisor. So you'll see here on your screen, this is an example of our landing page. So this is the snapshot of our landing page, and we invite you to go on over to the course landing page, to the course enrollment page, and click on that blue Apply Now button. That will allow you to do two things. Firstly, you'll have a chance to download the course brochure. That's an entire comprehensive brochure that tells you everything you need to know about this program. All of the curriculum that was described here by Professor Broke, some of those learning experiential components that we talked about, how the program is delivered, course fees, discounts, other registration and enrollment information, all of that's contained within the course brochure. So if you click on that blue Apply Now button and you put in your contact details, you'll have an opportunity to download that course brochure, and you'll also be giving a scheduling link. That scheduling link is used to help book an appointment with a program advisor. So after you download that brochure, you'll have a chance to use Calendly, which is a scheduling app, to select a time in your time zone that works for you to get connected with an advisor. Your advisor will then give you a call at that time that you selected and talk through some of the components of this program with you. So by going over to the enrollment page, you have an opportunity to get that course brochure, as well as schedule an appointment with an advisor where you can download your brochure and get connected with an advisor. If you're not quite ready to go over to the enrollment page, but you still want to reach out for support, There are two other ways to get connected with an advisor. You'll see there's an email address that's imperial@emeritus.org. You can simply send us an email, let us know you're interested in getting connected with an advisor, and we'll connect you through email. And then the third channel, and perhaps the easiest channel for getting connected here, is to wait for copies of today's recording to arrive in your inbox. As we've mentioned a couple of times now, we have recorded the session. And the next thing we're going to be doing is following up by providing you with copies of the recording as well as all of the slides here. So stay tuned for an email from our team with a copy of the recording and the slides. If you don't yet have an advisor, you can simply reply all to that email, let us know you need one, and we'll get you connected. So a lot of different ways there. Again, those advisors are going to help you with all of those course logistics questions. When are the dates and times of the live webinars? I want to get them on my calendar. Your program advisors can send you those dates. They can send you calendar holds so that you can visualize your schedule. They can also talk through policy details with you. What happens if I'm late with an assignment? Or how do I earn that certificate of completion? What's the evaluative criteria for the program? They can walk you through those areas as well. Then, of course, the registration and enrollment process. How do I apply? What are the deadlines? If you're looking for flexible and transparent payment options, they can cover financing options with you, special group enrollment, referral programs, and other discounts. So certainly get connected there with an advisor. That is your next step as you seek to prepare to begin this program. But with that, I'm going to open up the floor to our subject matter expert and keynote faculty presenter who is here with us to answer any of those content questions you have about sustainability more broadly or about this program. So Professor Brooke, I'm going to open up, sort of warm up the questions here. We commonly get a question about prerequisite knowledge required. So you told us a little bit about who you designed the program for. In terms of work experience or tenure, is this program going to be suitable for those just getting started in their career, or is this really aimed at mid-career or executives, or is it applicable across the tenure range?
Well, thank you for the question, because I may need to clarify that part. I think I didn't mention it. It's really it really doesn't matter on what end of your career you are. In terms of whether this program is maybe helpful for you or not. You can build on if you're relatively new in business, and you can reflect a lot in terms of what happened so far and how things have been done when you're a bit longer in the program or the corporate world already. So this is not an issue. I think the main issue is that you should at least have some working experiences. You should be able to link to what we are talking about. I think that's the bottom line. And some interest in business, in the running of business, right, in the strategy of it. But that's it. So otherwise, it really doesn't matter where in your career you stand.
Thank you for providing that clarification. And certainly this program is designed to apply across industry areas, different levels of years of work experience. So as you think of learning from your peers, that's a big value add too. You're going to be learning from folks who are just starting out, gaining those fresh perspectives. You're going to be learning from folks who are at that mid-career leadership level and others who are really running organizations. So you're going to be learning from that diverse perspective as well. So Anna, I see your question here about networking. So certainly, Anna, you're seeing the value in the networking possibilities here in this program. And you're asking, are there any activities or lessons in the program? And the answer to that, in short, is yes. You do have an opportunity through discussion boards, live question and answer sessions with your course leaders and peers to have those networking components built in. We do not have forced group work. The logistical coordination of group work can be challenging. And so all of the work here is individual assignments, but certainly you'll be collaborating with your peers. You'll be talking to each other about your assignments, joining office hours, and being a critical part of the learning for your peer colleagues throughout your time in the program. Will you be creating a prototype in Module 5? Are you going to do it yourselves as a practical case? So again, you have that support from your course leaders and from your peers. You are never alone in this program. As you seek to design your assignments and complete the evaluative criteria, you're going to have that support every step of the way. You can come to live webinars with your faculty, get your questions answered from your course leaders, discuss things with your peers. Again, that high level of support is built into every aspect of your learning in the program. So with that, I think we're rounding out our time here together, Professor Brooke. Any final words of wisdom or thoughts that you'd like to share as we close out our time together here today?
The words of wisdom. Shouldn't it start with purpose? And I maybe just would like to address that, because this is exactly how this program was developed. You know, because it's not the first one. We developed many of these programs already, and we had a learning curve in that. And the purpose, we realized when we start with the purpose, people very often are not able to develop this purpose in the right way to begin with, because they lack the information, and they lack the view on different aspects of the issue. And excuse me. And that's why we put the purpose at the end, so that you are able to develop a really good idea of this purpose. And this is actually maybe the last words that you wanted to have, Marie, because this is exactly what we are doing with this program, to give you the chance to look at the very, very complex idea of corporate sustainability from many different angles, from practical angles, from different national angles, from different academic kind of disciplines angles, so that you will be able to develop your own idea of that, and will be able to create this purpose for yourself, you know, as a leader. So it's something that cannot be given or handed to you. It's something that you have to develop yourself, and this program will help you with that. And when you're done with this program, I think you will be far ahead of your peers in terms of the width of of an understanding of the issue of corporate sustainability, and what a leader needs to do and could do in this context.
Thank you
I
so
think
much
I'll
again.
leave it there.
Professor Broke, I'm gonna close out our session here. We're right at the top of the hour, but thank you so much for being here with us and taking us through this content. It's been an absolute honor learning more from you about this program that you've put together. Truly remarkable opportunity here to learn directly from you and your colleagues about sustainability leadership. And we hope to see you back in the program beginning just around the corner. So with that, we're going to sign off here today with our heartfelt gratitude and best wishes for a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.